To God be the glory. Amen. I love you also very much. So I'm just gonna share a little story of mine. It's my journey, so I'm gonna just share this story to help a lot of people to understand the dimension in which I'm speaking on today. So there was a day, my phone really got bad, and I was really excited, and I thought, okay, it's time for a new phone. There we go. Let's head down to the high street. For some places, they call it the mall. Let's go and see what we can get for the price that I have with me. So, getting on the bus, headed all the way down, got to the destination, so excited, began to look from shop to shop, hoping to get the phone that I wanted. And I believe it was in the time that iPhone 6 just came out, thereabout, yeah, a few generations back. So I was trying to look for an iPhone 5, just the 5S or whatever it is, just to be content with that in itself. So going from shop to shop, I was kind of browsing. I couldn't find any at all. Eventually, I decided, you know what? I couldn't find anything today. Maybe if I try next week or the following week, or I might probably find something good. So what happened? I decided to set back home, just going home. And I met this man. He approached me. He said, "Hey, would you like some iPhone 6? Would you like an iPhone 6?" I'm like, "iPhone 6?" I said, "How much is it going for?" He told me the price. Wow. My ear tingled. I said, "For that price, iPhone 6?" I said, "Well, let's have a look." So he showed me what the phone looked like. And I'm like, "Wow, this is really good." So eventually, what happened? I said, "Well, I don't think I have enough at the moment." So I decided to call up a friend, and they helped me to make up the amount the man was basically requesting for. So, in eventuality, what happened? And we looked at the phone together. He basically rushed, displaying the phone to me. He showed me the IMEI number. He showed me the about us, everything showed iPhone 6. And I'm like, wow, this is really good. So he handed me the phone. I handed him the money. By the time I inspected the phone and looked up, the man was nowhere to be found. Oh my goodness. I walked up and down that road trying to look for this man, but could not find him anywhere. I have just been scammed. Congratulations, Dapo. You have just been scammed. And I'm like, wow. And to the best, to the best part of it, I held on that phone and I was laughing all the way home. I was just laughing all the way home. I'm like, wow, really, this happened to me. And when I got home, I couldn't stop laughing. And in that moment, after I finished laughing, it now dawned on me like, hey, this is just what's happened. And for a minute, I just began to like, Father, I thank you. I really thank you because you were asking me to be patient. And the truth of it was, he was asking me to be patient, but I wasn't. I decided to go on my own accord and eventually, basically got scammed. So if you've been in this dimension before, I want to bless you with the mercy of God. Yeah, I want to bless you with the mercy of God because in this hour, the Lord is basically encouraging majority of us to be very careful of those who are scamming for phones. Yeah, they're scamming people on phones. So it's basically they sell you a phone that looks like what it is, and eventually you take it home and it's not exactly what you paid for. No, not at all. So they show you the original while you're there. But by the time you get home, you don't find exactly the product because in the midst of you paying and collecting the whatever the device, it has already been it has been exchanged, it's been manipulated, and you've been scammed. Let's just put it that way. And I just decree and declare to the glory of God, you will not fall into this trap of the enemy in Jesus' mighty name. So the Lord is basically releasing mercy and at the same time helping a lot of us to understand that we have to be what? We have to be sober and be what? And be vigilant because there are a lot of people who are scamming. And for the same as well, I want to release mercy over those who have bought stolen phones in times past. So it's a place you have to be careful because a lot of stolen phones are out there at the same time, and they're selling stolen phones and they're selling all these stolen devices, but especially phones in this hour. And that's why the Father is helping you to understand that you have to be careful. So for those who have these mobile devices, be careful to, just keep yours in a safe location. And for those who are going to buy, be careful of what you're buying. Make sure you look at what you're buying, you look at it carefully. Immediately you pay for it, you're looking at it like it's the same product, not that when you get home you realize that it's been swapped along the way. So I just want to release that onto majority of you, because we have to be careful in that regard too. Yeah, we have to be careful because there are a lot of things. That's why I always talk about jurisdictions, because when we basically get out of our jurisdictions, we can, when the Father is saying, hey, be patient, and you get out of that jurisdiction and you go and do something that you ought not to. Because I remember a time, I was given a word and I took that word, and what happened was I was sharing it with everybody, and the Father is like, hey, that word that you're sharing, you've gone out of your jurisdiction, places that I wasn't supposed to share it, I shared it, and then it brought a whole lot of dimension of warfare that I shouldn't basically be involved in. And for those places, I'm sorry too for basically sharing it with those people, because I basically crossed that in itself. So this is why I'm explaining to you that if the Father says he's going to give you something, be patient with it at the same time. And if you're going to buy it, that you have to be what? You have to be careful. Yes, you have to be careful. Be careful. Yes, when you're buying a phone in this hour, be very careful. Yes, there are a lot of scammers out there. So I just keep repeating that, because the Bible declares once spoken, twice have I heard. So I need to basically let you understand, because I know probably somebody is about to go and buy a phone out there, probably this weekend. You're so excited to go and buy one. And the Lord is basically helping you to understand there are scammers out there. Be careful of that in itself. So it's just a place where you just pray, Father, wherever you need me to buy this phone, because this money needs to be a blessing to somebody. Lead me in the path of your righteousness for your name's sake, and he will guide and he will lead you. Amen. To God be the glory. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all so very much. Have a wonderful, blessed, and a glorious day in the presence of the Most High that you are. Love you all. Amen.